World of Warcraft Shadowlands is literally right around the corner. For the last 2 weeks, players have enjoyed the pre-expansion patch that saw the return of some of the most famous boss battles of the Wrath of the Lich King instance cluster, as well as the return of the infamous SCOURGE invasion. Unless you've bunkered down in your garrison or order hall to avoid this event, you'll well know that this year's SCOURGE event has been met with disappointment, grief, and all-around dissatisfaction. This begs the question, what made the Shadowlands SCOURGE invasion so different from the highly revered invasion during the Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch event? Let's talk about it. The SCOURGE invasion was actually first introduced as a world event for the opening of Naxxramas in patch 1.11, but it was later retuned for the Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch where it became infamous. On October 22nd, 2008, Argent Dawn NPCs began appearing across cities in Azeroth, while conspicuous crates also began to mysteriously appear. Players that opened these crates were met with a zombie plague. On October 23rd, plagued roaches started to swarm the capital cities and, if killed, would release a cloud of plague infecting the attacker as well as anyone nearby. The player had 10 minutes to be healed by one of the Argent Dawn or a healer with cleanse disease, or else they'd turn into a zombie. On this day, the event seemed to be simply a fun little quirk that was easily remedied, but boy were we wrong. On October 25th, the floating necropolis seen in the Naxxramas invasion returned, bringing waves of undead across all of Azeroth. The plague timer was reduced down to 2 minutes, and the Argent Dawn's ability to successfully cleanse the plague became weaker, and the infection began to spread more and more across Azeroth. And on October 26th, the infection was reduced down to 1 minute, and the cities of Orgrimmar and Stormwind were overrun by the SCOURGE. This event became one of the most well-known events in gaming history. While it did not reach the same level of infamy as the Corrupted Blood incident, which has its own Wikipedia article, it was still a breathtaking event not seen before in gaming history. So when Blizzard announced the return of the SCOURGE invasion, people were understandably excited to relive one of World of Warcraft's greatest moments. The Shadowlands pre-patch brought the Argent Dawn back to the capital city, as well as the odd zombie spawn here and there. The majority of the event took place in Icecrown, and absolutely no SCOURGE invasion to be seen. It wasn't until a week later, on the 16th, that we saw the return of the zombie plague. Unlike before, there were no mysterious crates or plague roaches, but instead, players had to become infected from the roaming zombies, and in turn, infect other players. There was no way to cleanse the infection as far as I know, and the rate from infected to zombie was roughly about 30 seconds. Almost instantly, trade chat became filled with players demanding others to stop killing NPCs, auctioneers, and the like. Surprisingly, their demands were heard. Over time, the zombie invasion simply stopped popping up, or was reduced to a handful of players killing people near teleports. The level by which the invasion spread was greatly reduced this time around, and it was seen more as an annoyance than fun. The question is why? Well, World of Warcraft was a very different game at the end of Burning Crusade than it is today. That much is obvious. But you may ask why this makes a difference in how the SCOURGE invasion was received. And the answer is player retention. During Vanilla and Burning Crusade, World of Warcraft's greatest rewards came at the cost of significant time investment. From raids that took months to complete, or crafting a piece of armor that required ingredients on a weekly reset, or farming honor for that awesome PvP mount, everything took a long time. As such, players did not necessarily play WoW for those achievements, but instead played WoW with the understanding that over time it would lead to those achievements. Taking a small break to participate in a SCOURGE event didn't seem like a big deal, because what was a few days from a 6-month process? Flash forward to today and you see the complete opposite. In an effort to retain players, Blizzard has reduced the overall time needed to achieve almost anything in the game. Mythics can be maxed out fairly quickly in pugs, and a lot of guilds clear raids in a week or two. Couple this with players spending categorically less time online, a player values every minute they spend online and would rather devote it to achieving a personal goal rather than goofing off during an event. That isn't to say that there aren't people who disagree with this mindset. I'm one of them, but the statistics don't lie. Richard Coster, the lead designer for Ultima Online, famously said, "If you can't make money from a user base that has decided to make your game into a lifestyle choice, well, you're not trying." This quote perfectly encapsulates what it meant to be an MMO player 15 years ago. And today's MMOs are not so much a lifestyle choice as more of a side entertainment. The bar for entry is greatly reduced, and the reward systems are short enough that you can accomplish much in a shorter amount of time. People who could play 8 hours a day 10 years ago now have families and obligations that consume their free time, while younger gamers have grown up favoring instant gratification. That isn't a slight against an age group, by the way. It's the result of a saturated gaming market where companies knew that what mattered most was keeping a large player base for as long as possible after release by offering as many rewards as possible. It's then clear that the Scourge invasion for Shadowlands was a nostalgic event that was not really updated to reflect today's player base. Most see the event as an inconvenience and would rather spend their time farming ICC rares for loot than running around infecting people in Stormwind. If Blizzard had wanted to achieve the same level of participation that was seen during Wrath of the Lich King's pre-patch event, then they should have attached tangible rewards to the Scourge invasion to incentivize players to do it. And trust me, that makes me feel gross saying it, but it doesn't stop it from being any more true. In today's World of Warcraft, if there's no tangible reward for it, then it simply won't be done. Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning into my new video. I know it's been a long time since I posted. I've been working a lot on the Shadowlands pre-patch as well as doing some add-on work. As some of you know, I do a lot of UI development and custom add-ons for the different online games I play, and I've been really focused in on the Shadowlands expansion in order to build a couple of new add-ons that I'll hope to show off here. I'm still playing Lord of the Rings Online, however I have taken a bit of an extended break. I have a lot to say about the Lord of the Rings, especially what's been happening in the recent expansion, so I hope you guys bear with me, and a new video will be out soon. See ya!